Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's live stream. Beautiful day here in Perth, a bit cool. We'll look at the weather in a second. How's everybody doing? Been looking forward to today's live stream this week for some strange reason. I don't know why. Some weeks I really look forward to these. Other weeks I really look forward to them. I love doing these, as I've said many times. Right, I can hear myself now, so we'll get going. So let's start by taking a look at the weather. Do you know, I've rearranged my buttons and I still can't find it. Weather, there we go, weather. One of these days I'll get these buttons right. I did rearrange them to hopefully make it a little bit better. No, not 1008. I've just got to change that temperature. 18, no, not. Gosh, I'm trying to bong myself here. Okay, so here in Secret Harbour, 19 degrees Celsius, that's 66 Fahrenheit. But we're looking for a high of 26 today, which will be about 79 Fahrenheit. So be nice. We've had some really nice warm days this week. We've had the windows open virtually every day and I've been loving that. Let me go back to the camera. It's really enjoyable to have that little bit of heat, isn't it? Been a bit of a busy week this week. We'll talk about that. I've been playing around with all sorts of stuff. So we'll talk about that after we've gone through the comments. So we're starting here. We've got David. Welcome to David-ish. David, I believe, is on his way back from an event. So hello from the capital city of Austin, where it's 78 Fahrenheit or 25.5 Celsius. And I'm still at the UIL tournament. This is something to do with, I believe, his wife's school. At our school, oh, there it says school. That I'm ended. That is one of the busiest weeks I've had in a long time. I can't read today. David, I will try to get back on if I can, but if not, I wanted to say hello to everybody and apologise for being out of touch this week. Blonde Scales 1, welcome to you. Hello from Arkansas, where it's 71 Fahrenheit. Jim, hello from Harper's Ferry in West Virginia, where it's 58 Fahrenheit or 14.4 Celsius. K. Rye, hello from Massachusetts, where it's 41 Fahrenheit or 5 Celsius. I'm rather jealous of the temperatures in the warmer part of the country right now. I bet you are. Wow, 5 Celsius. That's cold. Marilyn, hi. Gary, hi everyone. Welcome to you, Marilyn. And Jim, we've got some highs coming back there. Blonde Scales 1, I'd like it a bit cooler, but not cold. I'd like it a lot warmer. Now, I've got to be honest, the weather this week has been beautiful. It's not been too hot, so we've been able to take Kira out still. Problem is, once it starts getting to above 27, 28, we don't like to take her out because we find that the pavements just get too hot for her little feet, and we don't want her feeling uncomfortable. A couple of highs back there. Blonde Scales 1, we desperately need rain. Ponds are still not refilling. Yeah, oh, is it? I saw on the news yesterday where I grew up in the UK, Scarborough. One of the big cities there, York, they're under a red alert for flood warnings. Another place just further down the coast is flooded. So they're getting loads of rain. Problem is, I bet it's not in the right place. Marilyn, it's 60 Fahrenheit and rainy here in Disneyland in California. Tony, welcome to you, Tony. Hello all from Wiltshire, southwest England, 10 Celsius and damp. I can't remember if I said hello to K. Rye, welcome to you. And also to Jim, welcome to you, Jim. K. Rye, I hope you get some rain soon. I bet, yeah, I do. The last thing you want to be going into is a drought. Jim, hi all, 62 degrees and clear skies in Georgia. Welcome to you, Jim. Blonde Scales 1, we have a chance Wednesday and Thursday, but it will probably fizzle out. Yeah, I know what you mean there. Kiss my, hi everyone, almost missed it this week. Welcome to you, Kiss Mike, from coming in from stunning Ireland. Do you know, I lived in the UK for all those years. I've never been to Ireland. I used to live about 7 or 8 miles from the Welsh border. I've never been to Wales. Yeah, weird how you never go places. Jim, I was at a turkey shoot today. Is that a thing outside of the US South? I don't think it is here. I, um, I know in the UK there was it was like grouse and pheasants. Sorry, not peasants. I keep wanting to call them peasants. Because my brother-in-law used to do that. He used to go shooting. I think it was pheasants he was shooting, or maybe it was peasants. Knowing my brother-in-law, so that was something in the UK. Oh, is it the glorious 12th? That's what I can't remember. I think it was the 12th of August. Jim, hello to Kismai. Welcome, and then Tony to Jim. Good targets for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Absolutely. Andreas, welcome to you, Andreas. G'day from overcast Brisbane. Currently 26 Celsius and feels humid. Feels like 29 Celsius. Yes, the humidity, which is always the killer, isn't it? Kismai, 11 Celsius or 52 Fahrenheit here, and we've had nothing but rain these last few days. They gave us 2 weather warnings in a week. Let me just see if I can refresh this. See if there's any more come in. No, that's the wrong one to refresh. That's the one I want to refresh. Ricardo, welcome to you, Ricardo. Good morning, afternoon and evening from cold, damp and wet, humid London. Welcome to you, Ricardo. So, busy week here. Haven't really had any pens come in, obviously, because we're waiting for Inkvent now, my Inky Countdown, starting soon. So I recorded the first 3 during the week. Not going to say anything about them until the 1st of December, other than the fact I've recorded them. Because the worst thing I want to do is spoil it for people who are trying to avoid all these spoilers. But yeah, really enjoyed doing that. Obviously got my gorgeous presents from my wife. They're sat on the shelf over from me, so I can actually see the first 3 there. I think she was trying to drop a message with one of them. Well, with 2 of them, to be honest. So they'll be coming out soon on the 1st of December, the first one. Quickly catching up on us. What's the date now? 16th, sort of, it's about 2 weeks' time, and the first one will be coming out. Other things I've been doing is obviously playing around, trying to clean my desk up a bit more because it's getting all really messy again. Cleaned out a load of pens. I'm trying to empty out all the inked pens that I've got, because what I'm doing this year as part of my Inky Countdown is I'm actually filling a pen with each of the inks. So that's obviously going to be 49 of them. Which is going to be fun. So I've been desperately trying to empty out all the other pens, because otherwise I'll have to, going for 100. I think I'm down now. I think it was 19 when I last counted. But of them 19, 6 were obviously in this month's ink pens and use. 6 are for next month's. Then I've got my weekly pens. So I've got all the ones now that are inked up are generally there for a reason. So yeah, being quite busy. ZZ Hooky, I'm late, lol. You're never late. You always get somewhere at the time you're meant to get there. K Rye to Jim, we have them here. I also have groups of turkeys wandering around my neighbourhood. The Goat Girl, hi to everybody. Welcome to you, the Goat Girl. Tony to Kismai, we had non-stop rain here on Thursday with lots of local flooding too. Marilyn, I'm excited to go to Disneyland next week to go get pictures with Santa Claus and then have Thanksgiving. Then I get to do the Diamine Inkvent calendar. Yeah, I remember when we had it was always fun going to somewhere where, when I was a kid, there was a shop in Scarborough called Boyce's, and they, with their Santa Claus, they had built like a little walkway through that you had to go through with little animatronics on the sides of little Christmassy scenes and winter scenes and stuff like that. As a kid, I always remember there was going through, just looking at them. So yeah, if we had somewhere like Disneyland around here, I'd definitely be going to that. Jim, I had one fly over my Kai when I first moved to West Virginia. And K-Rai, thank you for not even dropping hints about the Inkvent calendar. Yeah, I don't believe in spoilers. You could say because of the time I released mine, it could be a spoiler in other parts of the world because it's still the evening before the day. But nah, I won't talk about them. You know, if you want to talk about them, you'll have to contact me privately, and we'll chat. I'm happy to chat privately, but no, not on a public forum. Kiss my. Even though I've watched a few spoiler vids on the advent calendars, I'll still be tuning in to watch our countdown. Cool, thanks for that. Yeah, this year we got something slightly different. So as well as a present for my wife, instead of a chocolate advent calendar, I've got a what I'm calling a Star Trek. I think they call it Stellar Fleet or something like that. So that'll be in there as well. I like to have fun things in there. Marilyn, hi. Welcome to. Oh, no, I've already said welcome. Jim Edwards, a turkey shoot is a fundraiser where closest pellet to the bullseye in a shotgun blast wins a frozen turkey. No turkeys harmed at the shoot. Oh, I didn't realise that. When you said turkey shoot, I thought you meant actually going out and shooting the turkeys. You know, as somebody else said, you know, getting your things ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas. K-Rai, hi to the goat girl. Let's refresh these comments. Kiss my Silverstone weather then. Andreas, what are you going to do with 49 fully inked pens? I know they'll be slowly whittled down. I will get through them, but what I'm trying to do is spread out the types of pens they are, so it's got a good spread of pens. About a month ago, I had about 70 inked pens, so you know we'll get through them. And if there's one I don't like, I'll just essentially empty it down the sink. The Goat Girl, I've been meaning to tell you, I also worked at Disney, but it was in Florida. Tony, we've got some highs coming through from Tony. Blonde Scales 1, that's his problem. Yeah, absolutely. With doing videos and stuff, I'll soon be able to use them. Got hi there to Tony and hi to the Goat Girl. Ricardo, Inkvent calendar has arrived and is hidden away until the 1st of December. Also taking advantage of Fountain Pen Day, I got a Twisby Eco Serpentine with a broad nib. Just a gorgeous pen. Yeah, I do like my Ecos. They're just workhorse pens. They just seem to work. Marilyn, Florida is way different than Anaheim. Do you know, if I lived close to somewhere like Disneyland, I'd be looking at. I think Marilyn has this. I'm guessing Marilyn has this. One of them annual passes, and I think I'd be going there at least once, if not twice a week, even if it's just to go and sit in various cafes and work for a while and just soak in the atmosphere. The Goat Girl, I visited Disneyland when I was 11. It was a blast. I hope you enjoyed your time there too. ZZ Hooky, I've got some pens coming from China. Should be here by Easter. Yeah, I don't know about anybody else. Certainly where I live. So my China stuff I generally order from either AliExpress or Temu, and we've been finding that they generally arrive within about a week now. Quite often faster than I can get a package over from Melbourne. So that's quite interesting. But yeah, absolutely love them. Absolutely love my Chinese pens. You know, I love all my pens. That's the problem. I just look, they're all my little babies. Marilyn, I get quite cross at people who spoil them. Cheaters never prosper. Absolutely. If you're going to spoil something, be very, very open about it. Make sure you let people know before you show it. Marilyn, then we've got a lol. Kiss my to ZZ Hooky. I've had stuff delivered by canoe from China as well. Yeah, I love that. Marilyn, I got my Jinhao 20 with a medium nib, translucent. I love it. So it's so smooth and nice fine pen. Yeah, I don't have any of them. Well, I've only got one clicky pen at the moment, and that's the Mahjong A1. I was very disappointed with it, so that's why, to be honest, it's put me off buying any others. Marilyn, I had an annual pass for 20 years and I gave it up when I retired. Yeah, I can understand that. Kiss My, I hear AliExpress are now going to give the canoe shippers paddles from the 1st of January. Should help. Yes, but where are they going to get the paddles from? Are they going to get them from Temu maybe? Jim, I just bought a few Osprey nibs from Etsy. 3 width and stub architect variations. Any info on Osprey nibs? I've never heard of them. Let me go and get Uncle Google up. Osprey nib. See if doesn't looks like they're not Yoho or bot they are, should I say. Let me just switch to Safari. There you go. So this is on the Osprey Pens website. I've never used them, but it looks like there's quite a lot of compatibility. Go back to the webcam. Jim, on a whim, I got an Oaso K016, just like a ball pen with the point on the end without the clay. Cool. We got some crying faces there from said Hooky. Kiss My, so glad you got one of the good ones by the sounds of it. That was to Marilyn. The Goat Girl, anyone else irritated that Pilot Kakuno Clear were $9.99? They're now $15. It's this tariffs. Obviously, with not being in America, I've got no idea, but I would guess so. Marilyn, I just got a notification that my fountain pen is in the mail. Should be here Monday. Awesome. I always love receiving new pens. K-Rai, I went a little crazy on fountain pen day. I got a Platinum 3776, a Sailor Tuzu from Atlas, and a Pelican 205 Appetite from eBay. I hope you were able to use my code on Atlas, or if you couldn't, maybe Marilyn's code. I think Fountain Pen Day, most of the stuff was 20% off with that code. I do remember receiving an email about that. Andreas, I'm scared of Disney. Seen so many videos online of people going into debt just to do the Disney holidays. Yeah, I've heard that as well. I can't, I just don't know why they would do that. Although I'm surprised they haven't shut all these Disney resorts down. Apparently there's 6-foot mice running around. Tony, the Chinese sellers are now setting up warehouses in major countries to speed up deliveries of popular items. Zed Hooky, we got a nice there to K. Jim, Marilyn, to Kiss My, we'll see. Jim, I've got one of their Ultraflex nibs, not as good as the FPR nib. Ricardo, I've got a pen company from China. Pen company from China. I don't know, Gary. Today's mug is my Star Wars mug, the proper one, the original one. Ricardo, I've got a pen coming from China via AliExpress, ordered about a week and a half. It's already passed customs and should be with me this week, I hope. Blonde Scales 1, never been to a Disney park, have been to a couple of Six Flags. Yeah, the nearest I've been to a Disney park is in the UK, in Yorkshire, Lightwater Valley. Love the roller coaster there. My son, when he was 8, we went to Lightwater Valley and he insisted, because he had the height, so he insisted he was going to go on the roller coaster with me. He's never stepped foot on a roller coaster again since then. So yeah, no, unfortunately I can't go on them now, but I used to love roller coasters. The Goat Girl, to Andreas, last I heard, a single park hopper pass was $219 a day at Disney World. Wow, that's a lot. Marilyn, I've recently been using my blue pen. To Jim, I love it with a broad nib. Yeah, Jim has been making some gorgeous pens. Have a look at them if you haven't. ZZ Hooky, AliExpress has a Marjon M800 for $13. I don't blame you. I love my Marjon M800s. I had all 4 colours, but I must have been losing my marbles, so I gave one of them to my daughter. But so yeah, now I've only got 3 colours. Okay, right, the Atlas code did not work for the Doorbusters. Okay, thanks for that. Tony, I went mad on Fountain Pen Day as well. Pelikan M1000 Green, awesome. On its way from Iguana, Spain. Is that Iguana Cell maybe as well? Marilyn, Laurel Disney has a great deal if you do their hotel share program. You pay a little every month and then you get a week at the end of the year. It's well worth it. That is a good idea, you know, bit by bit, and then you've got it there. Said Hooky to Tony, it's called Amazon. Blonde Scales 1, no roller coasters with a loop for me. Oh, I love them. Oh, you know, the one we used to go on at the time, I think it had the world's largest or highest drop. Oh, I loved it. Sorry, Anna, I'm just a sad git. Andreas, I hope you love the M1000. Tony, buttery smooth nib is great for me, but not for everyone. Yeah, I love the nib. It's the one on mine is so soft. It's beautiful. Marilyn, I wish the Marchant M800 came in a piston pen. Absolutely, so do I. If it did, that'd be another set that I'd be buying. I would buy one of all of them, as long as it's in the same shape as the current M800. I love the section on that. That's the bit which I really like. Marilyn with that gorgeous body, absolutely. Ricardo to K-Ride, may I ask what nib did you order for the Platinum 3776? And then Jim, I recently got a Sean Design full-sized and installed the Monarch nib I got at the DC pen show. It's a wonderful pen. Yeah, I've been looking at them Monarch nibs. They look different, don't they? K-Ride to Ricardo, I got a Broad. Haven't checked it yet. It's going to go under the tree. Yeah, don't you? When you get things like that where you've got to wait and wait, and you know it's there, do you ever get that little temptation? I do, to go and have a quick feel and see if you can open it. The Goat Girl to Tony. Oh, I hope you enjoy that Pelican. Just do a refresh. Ricardo to Kay. Hope you like it. And then Kiss My. Am I mad? I'm still reluctant to put shimmer/sheen inks into any of my piston fillers. No, you're not. You're not mad. They are, you know, obviously piston fillers. They're not as easy to clean. I'm quite happy putting shimmer inks into the ones that I can pull the nib and feed out of, or unscrew the bottom and unscrew the section, because that means I can get in there and really give it a good clean. Whereas, you know, those, like say my Pelikan M1000, you know, where I'm not comfortable taking out that nib and feed, what I do there is I'm happy to use sheen inks, but yeah, certainly shimmer and chameleons, I hum and haw about that. Oh, I've got a dog limping by outside the window. Tony, Andreas, I like smooth. I've got an M800 and 400 NN vintage Pelicans. Lovely, buttery smooth. Jim to Kiss My, and I don't blame you, so am I. Jim, shimmer no, sheen okay. The Dark Girl to Kiss My, I think you're very wise. Yeah, I say it's definitely a lot harder to clean, and I'd be really, if I can't get that nib and feed off, to me shimmer's out the window. Marilyn, the Marchant M800 and the Asvine P20 are close to each other, but I'm not a fan of the grip section. And Marilyn, I read out the Jinhao 100. I wish they made a piston pen. Yeah, again, Jinhao 100. I think I did have 5. I gave one away again to my daughter. There must be something loose up here. But yeah, I'd love them if they made a piston pen. I do like piston fillers. I would say that's my favourite filling mechanism. So that's all the comments. So let's head on over and look at the pen of the week. So here's the pen of the week. This is that Benny Haute in Decadence that I did my first impressions of. Was it Monday last week or was it the week before? I love the shape of this. It's unusual. It's very square. And I love this material. Not a lot of sparkle in it, but there is some hidden sparkle, especially If we look around here where we're getting some of that translucency, it's a stunner. It's a piston filling. No, it isn't, he says. It's a cartridge converter. There we go. Nearly out of ink, so this is going to be good to get cleaned out, ready for an ink vent or a colour vent ink. Here we've got a medium Schmidt nib. Let me just turn this on its side slightly. So we've got the Benu Hort. With that gorgeous medium nib. I do like the Schmidt nibs. Price wise, you're looking about 320 Aussie dollars. So I think they're $230 US dollars on Benu's website. I'm not sure if Atlas sells them. I did see them listed there, but they were shown as waiting or to come in stock. The ink. Is Diamine Weeping Willow. Just turning down my test a bit. Really nice. I love the colour of this. As I said, the ink's nearly out, so what we're going to do now, I've just gone into the clean out pot. That's 2 pens in my clean out pot. I might have to do a cleaning session this week again. So let's move this up a little bit. Make sure, yep, I'm still in camera. So, pens of the week, or this week's pens. Only going to show the ones that still got ink in them, because I've had a number out of ink, so there's not actually many to show. So the first one, Faber-Castell Hexo. Again, it's very angular. So Hexo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides to this. Another cartridge converter. What I do is I don't have a converter for this. I'll eventually get one, but I just refill the cartridge that came with it. Put that back down. A really comfortable pen. Look, the little tiny nib on there, but it writes gorgeously. So we've got here I hope you can hear the way this writes. It's beautiful. 46 Aussie dollars, so fairly inexpensive, he says. The ink, Diamine Good Tidings. This is a Sheenan ink. Really nice. I've been enjoying all my pens this month. Next up, Opus 88 Omar. So this is an eyedropper. Again, this is getting fairly low on ink. I might get another week out of it. Eyedropper pen, so to fill it you unscrew the section, then you can very gently and carefully eyedropper it. Got number 6 nib on here. Okay. So we've got here this has got a broad nib. And price wise you're looking 180 Aussie dollars. The ink is Diamine Mint Twist. So with this ink, it's a chameleon, but I do think you've got to get the right paper with this. I can see some of the chameleon coming here on the A and the M. What I'll do, we'll come back and look at the inks after we've finished the writing. Up next, I haven't used this pen for ages, so now it's out. Here we've got the Ranga Model 5. Let me just hit that on my preview because it was showing me an ad. I like to see what's actually on the screen. So we've got a Ranga Model 5. This is an acrylic one, not a ebonite. Massive pen. Loads and loads of threads. Another one with a converter. Again, we've got enough ink there, hopefully to last the week. Massive section, so if you like big sections, this is really good for you. Got a number 6 nib on here. They now do a number 8, so eventually I will get another Model 5 and I'll get one with a number 8 nib. So this is, make sure I agitate this because we've got shimmer ink in here. Okay, we've got a broad nib, and this price wise is about 142 Aussie dollars. Pardon me, sorry. The ink, Diamine Sugar Snap. I say this one is a shimmer ink, so we'll give it a chance to dry, then come back and look at it. The final pen, so the last pen that's still got ink in this week. We've got plenty there. So here we go. This is the Platinum Preppy. You know, really cheap, inexpensive pen. Beautiful writer. I like the section on this. The section is fairly wide for a lot of the cheap pens. It is very light. You can use the platinum converter in here. The converter costs more than the actual pen. At the moment, I've just been refilling the cartridge. A couple of times I've even eyedropped it, but made sure I put plenty of silicone grease and just eyedropped it. What I do find though with this, when I eyedropper it, doesn't matter how much or what I do, I still get a little bit of ink leakage. So it's just something that to be aware of. Surely. So this Platinum Preppy with the 05 nib. Of all the nibs today, this is the smoothest. Price wise, it's about $11.50 Aussie. The ink, Diamine Bar Humbug. Another chameleon ink. I do like the colour of this. I love the name of it as well. So let's just take a close look at these inks. So with the Hexo, hopefully, not sure if the camera can capture that, we've got like a blue base with a beautiful green sheen on the top. The Opus 88, yeah, certainly on the word Omar and Diamine and Mint and Twist. See loads of that beautiful, like a blue coming through. Trying to capture that, there you go, like a blue shimmer, or blue chameleon. The Diamine Sugar Snap. Not really seeing much on here, and I did agitate it, but normally it's got some nice shimmer to it, but certainly not seeing much here. And then with the Preppy, again, not seeing much of that chameleon coming through. So they're the pens I've been using this week. Okay, I've moved the seat. Let me just get this up. There we go. Go back to the comments. Andreas, interesting that Brian Goulet said to avoid sheening inks on expensive pens because of the salts and surfactants in the ink. Yeah, I've not really had an issue, but yeah, I can see where he might be coming from. The Goat Girl, have to sign off early. Lovely pen people. Have a wonderful time. No worries, that Goat Girl. Hope you enjoy yourself today. Marcy Me, welcome to you. Hey y'all, hit the like button for Gary. Yep, hit that like button. Before I carry on with the things, I'll show you one of the other things I've worked on this week. You'll start seeing this coming out in videos sometime in December, I think, but over time as I get round to including it. But this is my new membership details. So there you are, and as you may have noticed in the past weeks, I hate talking about these things, so I thought let's do something that I can just add in. And in my videos, so normally there's a membership section part way through the video, so that's going to be getting replaced by that little like addy type thing going forward. Tony, Gary, that's the nicest Bennu I've seen. A lovely colour. It is. It's absolutely stunning. It's so nice. Jim, to Andreas, I'm surprised about the surfing words. They aid in ink flow. Tony, hi Marcy Me, thanks for the reminder. Hit that thumbs up button. Yep, hit that button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. Tony, Jim, it's the salts that will be the problem, corrosion risk. Yeah, I can see that definitely. Jim, sure, but I thought most of that came with iron gall inks. Yeah, they're like the permanent inks. Andreas, to Jim, I know, but I don't understand the mechanics of sheening inks. I assumed the sheen particles need to float to the surface, just guessing though. But yeah, I'd love to know how to do that. I think I do have a research subject to look into that at some time. Just not got around to it about, you know, how do these, I can understand how shimmer inks works, but how do the sheening ones work? Jim, I received my Jinhao Flex last week. Still working on getting the feed to match the nib, but it's a broad flex nib, which is cool. Tony, Gary, what is chameleon ink? How does it differ from sheen / shimmer? Yeah, I say I've got a future video where at the moment I've not even started researching. It's just there in my list. So chameleon and shimmer are the two which are, and I think it's meant to be that with the chameleon you can see multiple colours depending how you orient it, you know, or catch the light on it. Whereas with the shimmer, you've just really got that single shimmer. Also the particles, I believe the chameleon particles are smaller than the chameleon particles are smaller than the shimmer particles. But essentially I just treat it as if it's a shimmer ink. I'm not sure if it's just a marketing term for diamine, but yeah, I just treat it as being another shimmer. Jim, to Andreas, I think you might be right with that guess. And we got a thumbs up from Marilyn. Jim, one of the spy samples from Ghoulie I got, bar humbug. Yeah, I love bar humbug. Bar humbug, my favourite saying. Blonde scales 1. Ouch, that's kind of loud. Let me make a note of that then. I'll fix that today. Kiss My. I prefer pens. I can take the nib, feed and housing apart for cleaning before I use shimmer or sheen. Yeah, a lot of mine, if I can take them apart without risking damaging them, then I will do. And Kiss My, that was loud, but yeah, I say I've made a note now. K. Rye, Richard Binder has no problem with sheening inks as long as they are in a pen that can be easily cleaned. Kiss My, that preppy, a bit of a mini stub. I've never really thought of that. Let me. Yeah, it's a little bit. Mini stub. Oh, pardon me. Terrible wind today. That preppy bit of a mini stub look to the right enough. Right. Marilyn, sheen comes from the dyes in large amounts. Sheen comes from a reflection of light in a wavelength depending on the lighting and the eye angle from the ink. Yeah, so I need to do a bit of a deep dive into it. I think it's going to be an interesting topic at some time. Kiss My, sheen inks, spend some time cleaning the cap of the ink bottle. It can take a while. That's the same liquid we put in our beloved pens. 2 + 2 = 5 for extremely large values of 2, obviously. Kiss My, not the cap, sorry, the glass top on the bottom. Yeah, she's been one of those days. I like looking at the ink on there, although I've found sometimes it can make it a bit sticky. Tony, to Marilyn, right, thanks. Butterfly wings, it's a diffraction effect. Andreas, I was thinking of putting a sheening ink into my new M600 Glauco Kanbon. A sheen seems to match the decorative barrel. Yeah, if I had one of those, I'd be tempted to put a nice sheener into there. Marilyn, sheen inks have a higher dry out for me, so I have to either use a toothpick dipped in white lightning and then dipped into the converter, or feed to keep it flowing. Yeah, I've found that as well, that sheen inks do tend to dry a little bit quicker. In the pen, they can seem to be a bit wetter on the paper though. Marilyn, either that or Noodler's Blue Ghost. Right, that's all the comments. Let's have a look at what's going on with the channel. So last week's videos. On Monday, we took a look at Irrefill versus Tomoe River paper. I'm actually using the Irrefill paper as my daily writing now. Absolutely, really liking that. Not sure how it compares to the Tomoe River. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I like them both, that's a problem. Wednesday, we took a look at the Natami Inception, and that was going up against the Jinhao 992. So two fairly affordable pens. And to be honest, I like them both again. Probably, as I say, I like all my pens. Then Friday, that was the Noodler's Conrad plus the Fountain Pen Revolution Flex Nib. And that was my first impressions. I'm going to be using that pen as part of my December pens in use, so looking forward to that. I've got a thing here saying chat. I'm not sure what it's for. I'm just clicking the button. That's because I was on that Osprey Pens website. I hate it when I get buttons come up that I don't know what they are. So coming up on Monday, we've got our I think I've got these mixed up because that Discord chat happened yesterday. I don't know, I've messed up this completely. Let me just restart. So ignore the Discord chat, that should have been on the first page. I must have really been messing my brain up. Let's get that going again. There we go. So Monday, November inked pens. Not many, I think there was only 5 or 6. These are the essentially pens that are inked up but not in my current rotation or planned for December. So yeah, that's very small. You can see how much I've been getting down. And then Wednesday, I've got what I'm calling the Battle of the M1000s. Really interesting one. I'm doing a Pelican, the Pelican M1000, going up against a Mahjong M1000. Two ends of the scale. So we've got a very affordable one with the Mahjong, and we've got a very expensive one with the Pelican. So that was quite an interesting one. Friday, and I think this is the last of my first impressions from last year's Inky countdown, is the Trammell T630 first impressions. What I did last year, well, what I try and do when I'm getting pens as part of my Inky countdown is I like to try and spread them out over the course of the year rather than doing all at the start. So yeah, the Trammell T630. And then books of the week. So I finished Cold Earth by Anne Cleeves, which is a Shetland book. I've got the next one in this series, which I believe is the last Shetland book. That's currently on hold with the library, and it's about all they say is many months before it becomes available. There's something like 18 people before me, so obviously a fairly popular one. So I might end up buying that, but that's there. But yeah, I enjoyed that. I've enjoyed all the Shetland books. They're really quite interesting. She really describes the landscape really well for me. And then I've started Tad Williams' The Dragon Bone Chair. This is a long book. It's about double the length of all the rest of the books I've been reading this year. So it's about 1,200 pages, something like that. Not 100% sure because I read it on a Kobo, so it doesn't really show you the page count. So as of last night, I was 18% of the way through it. It's very much a slow burn at the moment. I say about a fifth of the way through, and all it's been doing is world building and character building so far, which I can understand. but there's been no real action yet. Nothing with, this is the quest. Still waiting for that to come up. So hopefully that'll happen sometime this week. I might still be reading this next weekend because, as I say, it's a fairly big book, but we'll see. Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's nice. Tad Williams is got a different style to a lot of the books I've read. Very, very descriptive, which I like. So yeah, been enjoying that. Let's go back to the webcam. Close this down. Close this down. And back over to here. Back to the comments. Marcy me to Andreas. I've only ventured to use Pelican brand inks in my M600 Glauco Cambon. ZZ Hooky going to take off. See you. Thanks for joining us, ZZ Hooky. Hopefully we'll see you next week. Jim, Gary, look at ghost pigments in your research. I use it in resin and it reflects differently based on light. May be used in communion inks. Let me make a no. Ghost pigments. Marilyn, you did give me a shout out. That's okay, I understand. Yeah, make sure you check out Marilyn's channel. Make sure you check out Marcy Me's channel. Teresa Travel by Books. Simply Orbs. Can't think of any that regularly join that I've missed. Make sure you check out all their channels. They're all worth watching. Miss Marilyn Darling. So yesterday we had a currently inked pens, and I think, is it today or tomorrow will be the Bujo. I did watch the Bujo one last week. Yeah, I actually watched it. So I'm going to try and watch those. Problem is, because I stopped doing a Bujo, but I do like some of the ways that you were doing it. So it might be something I'd try because, I can always use this with, because I've got my sections. So as well as having, project type sections, I can have some maybe Bujo type sections. So that's something I am thinking about for next year. Tony by ZZ Hooky, have a good week. Blonde Scales 1, Discord was yesterday. Yeah, I did put out a thingamajiggy bob. I'm trying to work out how to send emails to members, but there's no easy way that I can see. Marilyn, 1,200 pages. He used the whole dictionary in that one. Absolutely. I don't mind it because, at the end of the day, they make them really good value. I think it was 12 Aussie dollars. So, I might get, a week and a half out of it. Whereas a lot of the books that I read are like 12 Aussie dollars. And I'm usually finishing them in 6 days, or 7 if I have a drink of wine during the week and don't read one day. Blonde Scales 1, I got a sigh there. Marilyn, I teach calligraphy with those noodleless Conrads with the Ultraflex nibs. Yeah, one of the things that I'm going to look at next year is trying to work more on calligraphy. So that's something I'm just toying with at the moment on doing that. Marilyn, yay for Bujo watching. Absolutely. Marilyn, next year I'm going back to my 3-ring binder Bujo. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Yeah, so I'll be doing later on in the year. At the moment I'm looking at filming it near the middle towards end of December with a target to actually go on Boxing Day, the 26th of December. So what I'm looking at there is, brain's gone dead, is looking at, what my plan is and what things I'm going to use next year. So, yeah, I'll have to have a think about that. Binders. I might even try and convince Elaine to let me buy, if we see another planner thing, I might get another planner, which I can use, so I can have then one for like Bujo-y type stuff and one purely for everything else. But I'm not sure. Let's have a think about that. Marcy me, thanks Gary. Tony, I didn't realise that Simply Orbs has a channel. We'll do a search for you. Yeah, Simply Orbs. She's actually one of the ones I watch every morning. She does a morning motivational minute, which is, I think, a really nice way to start the day because it's really short, but it's really interesting. Marilyn, I do private lessons if you're interested. We might have a chat about that next year. The only issue is going to be really time zones. Bond Skills 1, you need our emails so you can send us messages. Yeah, this is, again, I'm a bit hesitant with it, because if I can do it through YouTube, that's one thing, but it's down to privacy and stuff like that, and then trying to sync up lists all the time, whereas if I can get YouTube to do it, but I don't know why I can't. Well, I can understand why they want people on the YouTube website to go into posts, but to me it's nice to be able to send an email, so I'm still working on how to do that. Marilyn, they're free lessons. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks for that, Marilyn. We'll have a chat. I say, issue's going to be getting the time. Tony, Gary, how private is the Discord channel? Could do an email list on there. Yeah, there is an ability to link Discord to YouTube members. I've not really looked into it. I'll make a note to look at that as well, because that could be a way. Oh, pardon me. Marilyn, I would look into a mail list website. Yeah, again, it's back to that having to manually do everything, but not sure what to do. Marilyn, if everyone ring the bell, set it to all. That way you get notified when Gary puts out a new video. Yeah. I've got to be honest, I need to do that. How I manage my videos is what I'll do. I'll actually show you how I manage them. Just going to fetch YouTube up. Let me go back to Safari. Safari, so goody. So what I do is I subscribe to all the channels that I like. This is like the normal home. So I would go to my subscriptions every morning. And this shows them going back in time, so that the most recent first, usually. And then, say with this one, The Deep and Dark Endless Alchemy by Mikkel. If it's one I fancy watching, I'll click on the three dots, and then I save it to my watch later. If it's a long thing that I'll watch whenever, like say this Viking one, I'll add it to an actual watch list. Then when I'm ready to watch my videos, I go to watch later here, and here's all the ones that I've added. Then I can reorder that. So I tend to watch the pen videos first, then I go on to my science videos. The one at the top here, that's one, it's an hour long, and I want to watch that on my telly. Whereas the rest of these I can watch either on my iPad, on my Mac, or on the telly, depending where I am at and what time it is. So that's how I manage my YouTube. So I don't really use the bell, but by using the subscriptions and subscribing to all the channels I like, you can see there's loads there that I haven't added on. Eventually I might watch some of them, but it's just handy to be able to go through and pick the ones I want to watch. Let's close that window again and head back over to here. Then Marilyn, same. We've got no more comments at the moment. Gosh, last week we ran really long. This week we're running really short. Elaine might be pleased about that, because we were talking about going to a market, so that's going to be handy. So please hit the thumbs up button. I know we've already said that. Every time you like, every time you comment. So I've just seen the next comment. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. Really is. I really do appreciate it. Remember, membership's available. I played the ad. I will not play it again now. I'll get that volume sorted hopefully today. I think I just need to drop it down a bit. I'll have to. Problem is, because I watch them on my Mac, and it sounds about right, but then for some reason either OBS or YouTube boosts up the sound. Tony, Gary the archaeologist in your watch list from Time Team drinks in one of my local pubs. I absolutely love Time Team. I won't be surprised if we watch three or four episodes of Time Team a week, even though we've seen them all already. I really like a lot of archaeology programs and a lot of ancient history. I quite like ancient history. At school, I did an O-level in history, but unfortunately they only did it in modern history, which essentially was the end of the First World War. We started with the Treaty of Versailles, and we went through up to the 60s. I know 60s history, but that was looking at, exploring the Cold War and stuff like that. But I would have loved to have had the option to do ancient history. I'd have preferred that so much more than, that modern history. Mr. Inky Fingers, the notification bell is priceless. Absolutely. Marilyn, there's a way to turn off the video preview on YouTube and turn that top right corner turns into a watch later button. I'll see if I can find the setting and send it to you. Brilliant, thanks for that, because that's all I ever do with it. I never, from the subscriptions page, I never really watch anything. The nice thing with the base one, I do look through that every day as well to see if there's anything new on there. That's how I discover my new content. And I do check that every day. Normally after I've watched most of my other videos. K-Rai, I missed that. Which archaeologist is in your local? So I'll leave that there for a second. So, yeah, thank you all for your time. Absolutely love doing these. Wow, I'm going to shock her today. She'll wonder what's gone wrong with me that I'm finished in an hour. Thank you all for your time. Love doing these. Love you spending the time with me. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to do these. Remember that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. I just saw another comment and that put me off. Subscribe to the channel. Membership's available if you are able to help support the channel. Everything that comes in from membership, everything that comes in from the YouTube advertising, everything that comes in from super chats, all goes in towards getting more things for the channel to help me do new stuff and try and do different stuff from time to time. Back to the comments. We've got Tony. It's Dave from Time Team. He drinks my favourite pub in Salisbury. Awesome. Oh, I'd love that. Jim, have a great coming week, everybody. Have a great week all. From Blonde Scales 1. Andreas, thanks again, Gary. Have a great week all. Stay safe and see you next week. Marilyn, subscriptions, left scroll to the bottom to settings and then playback and then untick browsing. Cool, I will be doing that literally as soon as this finishes. And Tony, wow, it's one of my favourite shows. Yep, can't beat all these archaeological ones. Marcy, we've got a hand. Blonde Scales 1, we were quiet this week. Tony, thanks Gary, have a great week all. Ricardo, have a nice week. And Andreas, no juice tea or t-shirt updates this episode would have saved some time. Yeah, so I've got me Star Wars with peppermint tea. I do have my cordial out, apple and blackcurrant. Spider-Man t-shirt. I'm surprised Elaine lets me wear this because it's white. Dangerous thing, carrying a white t-shirt. So I'll leave the comments open whilst the outro is playing. So once again, thank you everybody, and I'll talk to you again soon.